Hey guys, I'm Nathan with the ebookreader.com. For this video, I'm going to do a review of the Onyx Boox N96. So this is a 9.7 inch ink e-reader that runs Android. It's got this brushed aluminum back, kind of a gold color. This is the model supports the Stylus touch. So got the stylus that comes with it and this little holder to stick it in. On the bottom here, you've got the micro SD card slot, USB port. So there's a microphone, headphone slot. And then the power button too, and then on the back here there's actually a little speaker here in the corner, so it supports audio, and it also has text to speech, and you can connect headphones with that. It also has Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. So like I said, it runs Android, the older Android 4.0, so there's not a lot of app compatibility, but it does have the Google Play Store and you can install apps on it. So this model, it's the model that supports the touchscreen stylus, and it has a Frontlight. So I'll just show you the Frontlight shortly. So the stylus pen, it's got like a hard tip to it, and then it's got this eraser on the end. The tips don't seem to wear out like the ones on the Sony. And then you can use it to like write on the screen. You can scroll around, you can turn pages. So it's a little bit different than I'm used to, like on the Remarkable Sony that I just reviewed. But what I really like about this model is it has a front light. So not all the N96s have front light. There's like a half a dozen different versions. But this is the front light model with the stylus touch, and it also has the Carta screen. So it has higher contrast. And if you hold this button, you can turn the front light off. As you can tell, it's quite a big difference with the front light on and off. I do like the front light. It's more even than I would have expected on a larger screen. It does have like a brighter strip on the right side here. Like you can tell at higher levels, you can't see it as much. It just sort of depends on what brightness level you have it at. So I kind of use it more towards the low end right here. And then with the higher up, you can see like a little bit more of the like that bright strip on the right side. But I actually like the front light. I think it looks quite good. So does the Carta screen. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about the stylus on this device. So you got the scribble mode that you can use like when you're using PDFs, and also has like notepads. It has some like, you know, different shapes, the circles and squares that you can automatically draw. It's got some different types of pencil, like you got the brush and you've got the pen, and it's got the eraser, and you can control how big the lines are. So the stylus is actually faster than I thought it would be. It's faster than the Sony. It has a little bit of a lag. It's not quite as fast as the Remarkable. But yeah, I was actually surprised by the speed of the stylus. It does work pretty well, but it does add some random lines I'll show here later. It worked really smooth right there. It sort of depends. So you've got the eraser you can use on screen, or you can just use the back of this, the pen here. It's got the eraser tip. All right, so you got some other things in here. So you can actually minimize that menu if you want to have the notes enabled while you're turning pages, because normally it's not. It'll just, the stylus will turn pages. So you've got a number of different zooming options with Onyx's software. That's one of their advanced features. I mean, with the PDFs, they're very good for PDFs. You got all kinds of like zooming. You can scroll around the screen. You got different presets for the zoom level. So and you've also got text reflow. So if you wanted to use the reflow option, then you can like control the font size independently. It's not like a PDF anymore. It like reflows it as a text type document. So you do have that option. So you can also use custom cropping if you want to identify exactly what size PDF you want to crop. You can do that as well. Then like if you have multi-column PDFs, you can use like one of these presets. Like this article mode works well. So with 2-column PDFs, because it goes from top to left in the middle of the screen. And sometimes you kind of got to, like this PDF, like the columns aren't always the same position, so sometimes you got to reposition them. And then you can just use the stylus to like, to move the, to scroll around on the screen. It sort of depends on what mode you're in. So if you're in this writing mode, then it'll write on the screen. But when you have it zoomed in like this, you can zoom in or scroll around on the screen with the stylus. So you can also switch over to landscape mode, of course. With the large 9.7 inch screen, it does work quite well in landscape mode once you get the zooming set up. But I don't know, it works quite. One thing about landscape mode is for some reason I can't get hyperlinks to work. It does work in portrait mode. You've also got this contrast darken feature, so you can set exactly how dark the font is on your PDF. So like scanned PDFs sometimes have really light font. You can darken them with that. It works quite well to get the text darker. So we've got some different navigating options. You've got you can enter page numbers. You can got that scroll bar down here. So then once you move across this or part of your PDF, you can use those top arrows to go back and forth from where you were. Like I said, the hyperlinks work here in portrait mode for me. For some reason, it wasn't working in landscape. But you also got searches. The searching is pretty quick on here, actually. Some things take some patience. because it has the 1 gigahertz processor. It's not exactly the fastest device, but searching goes pretty quick. You've also got the regular table of contents, and then in here you've got like your notes section. So it shows you all the pages you've added notes to, and you can jump to quickly. So yeah, you've also got tabbed documents, so you can have multiple documents opened at once here. You can minimize that and then show it where you got all the different tabs. You can just jump back and forth to different documents quickly. So that's a nice feature that you don't get like on any other e-readers that I know of. Ink e-readers usually just have very basic PDF support, but the Onyx devices, a lot of features for PDFs. They also support a number of other formats, including EPUBs, which is the file I'm showing right here. You can increase the font sizes. It's kind of got a limited amount of fonts, but you've got the usual dictionary. You can add notes, text. You can add text notes with EPUBs, but you can't draw on the screen like you could with PDFs, so it kind of depends on what format you're using. So you can't do any kind of on-screen annotations with the Stylus when it comes to EPUBs, but you can do the highlighting, you can do the lookup, and the you can add the text notes like I was saying, but you can't add the on-screen notes, which is kind of strange. So you've got more formats supported here, more features than you do on like the Sony DPT RP1 and the Remarkable. So those devices have the bigger screen, but they don't quite have as many features. So like you don't have the easier ways to jump around the book. Like they don't even have table of contents or anything like that. So definitely Onyx has the more advanced software. You got the different options for contrast control, text to speech.
Location I don't understand. Understand. Well, you know the Junkmen, and you have seen where their city is. They managed to put it right in the middle of the most savage spot on this planet. You know they don't care about any living thing except themselves. Shoot and kill is their only logic. You know they don't care about any living thing except themselves. Shoot and kill is their only logic.
So with text-to-speech and other audio, you can control the volume buttons up here with this little thing. You can change it from page forward to volume. So here's an example of like phantom touches I get on the touchscreen sometimes. I didn't select the note. It was all the way at the bottom. So there's no way I could have touched that with the stylus since I was touching the top corner. So I do get phantom presses with the touchscreen sometimes. So like I was saying earlier, it supports Android 4.0, comes with Google Play, so you can install apps. Most third-party apps aren't going to work well, and it's an older version of Android, so a lot of them aren't even supported on it. But I mean, you can try installing different apps. It's just one of the advantages, but don't expect them to work very well. So the device, it comes with some pre-installed e-reading apps. So if you long press on a book, you get the different reading apps you can choose from. So Onyx Near Reader is the one I was showing earlier, the version 2. And then you've also got like O-Reader. So you got like different feature set with these different e-reading apps. You can get things sort of set up how you want. I don't know, just sort of depends on what app you like best. So if you can find some good apps that are designed for ink and work with this OS, I mean, it is an advantage, but it is pretty hard to find apps that do work well with ink in this day and age. But that does add some functionality to the device. So as far as like the touchscreen, I was surprised that it's faster than I expected. So as you can see though, you get these random lines every once in a while. So it'll do these jagged little ends. I didn't draw that, so it does that sometimes. Earlier it didn't do it at all when I was showing that one PDF, but other times it does. And sometimes they're really long, like that one isn't expected. So it's kind of unexpected. You don't know what you're going to get with the touchscreen sometimes. It's not quite as accurate. Sometimes you have to press things more than once, but I mean, it's a lot cheaper than the Sony and the Remarkable. So, I mean, it is a good option to have, and just sort of depends. I would like one with a capacitive screen better, but they didn't have that option with the Frontlight and the Carta when I bought this. So I don't know if they're going to come out with one later. They have like 47 different available. But you got the different note templates in here, as you can see, being demoed. And you can add different pages to your notes just by hitting the plus and minus, remove pages. So it does have the note-taking capabilities in addition to the PDF and EPUB support. Also supports a variety of other formats. So a little bit more capable than some of the other e-readers out there. Got a lot more zooming options when it comes to PDFs. You can export your notes. But it's just, you know, it doesn't have the refinement as some of the other e-readers. Being able to install Android apps is a plus. You also got the web browser. You got this basic sort of like a file manager. You can navigate files on your device. So there's also this cover that it comes with. I don't know if the ones on Amazon come with it, but I ordered it from Banggood, and it came with this cover in addition to a hard case. So this cover is pretty nice. I mean, it fits it nice and tight. It's got speaker holes for the speakers, and then it also turns the device on and off when you open the screen. So kind of a nice bonus. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. Check out the ebookreader.com for the full review and additional reviews comparing it to the other devices that I mentioned in the review. So thank you guys for watching. Bye.